direct that pursuant to Indiana Code 5-114-1.5D, the Board of Commissioners of the Gary Park Department certifies that we did hold an executive session, and we discussed no subject in the executive session other than the subject matter specified in the public notice. Roll call.
Commissioner Harrell.
Present.
Commissioner Patterson.
Present.
President Garner.
Present. We do have a quorum and will continue. We'll now have our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would direct your attention to the minutes for August 13th. Are there any questions?
None here.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion to approve?
Roll call.
Commissioner Harrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson.
Yes.
President Garner.
Yes, motion is approved. I'll now address your attention to the approval of the claims listing. And it is the claims listing for the date August 10th through August 23rd. Are there any questions?
I had a question. Do we have a different security now for the, I thought American Eagle was our security. I see Tatum Security.
No, that is the physical security
Okay.
for our pavilions.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
None here.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the claims as presented.
Motion to approve is stated?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Harrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson.
Yes.
President Garner.
Yes. Takes us to our legal contracts.
Thank you, President Garner. We have one contract today, and that will be from Allstate Appraisal, and that is for the appraising of the vacant property for the intended use is the LWCF reconciliation. The amount is not to exceed $17,000, and they're supposed to be completed with this project within 4 weeks.
Superintendent Sparks, would you like to expound on that just a little bit?
Yes, glad to be at this point in our history. As you all are well aware, over 20 years ago, MC Bennett Park was erroneously used as a new TIF district area and taken out of parks. That land was supposed to be encumbered forever for park property as a result of being developed by LWCF, which is Land Water Conservation Fund monies. Over the past several years, many efforts have been made to try to come back into compliance. We've missed out on literally millions of dollars of not being able to apply because of our lack of compliance. We've been in talks for several months. I've been in communication with our redevelopment director as well as with Allstate. We put out a bid and requested that appraisers then respond to the bid. And this is where we are now. We are encumbering lakefront property, and Allstate is going to be appraising that property, making sure that it equals the value of the land that was, again, erroneously developed into other use.
Okay. Any questions or comments from board members?
None here.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the contract with State not to exceed $17,000.
Motion to approve as stated.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Harrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
President Gardner?
Yes. Motion is carried.
And that will conclude the legal report. Thank you.
All right, it takes us to our administrative reports. Aquatics.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So again, I have a short and sweet report, which is always a great thing during the summer. We are on our last week, so everything has been going nice and smooth. Today, I will have a representative from the city coming out, putting our stickers on the cabinets to make sure that it says City of Gary. The logo will be on each one of them today. So as soon as I leave here, that's what I'm going to do. So.
Okay, any questions? Well, let me commend Aquatics on a very successful summer. Lifeguards have done an extraordinary job. It's been a good summer.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Hudson Campbell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I would like to say that our books are still open for rentals, but they're starting to fill up fast. If you want to rent during the fall and winter, make sure you get in. You can come in, you can call 219-886-2814. Again, or you can walk in 219-886-2814. Our books are filling fast, so it's like on a first come, first served basis. But they are starting to fill up fast for our rentals.
Okay. Any questions from board members? Here's something I'm going to ask you to do for our next meeting. I want you to bring a little presentation on silver sneakers.
Okay.
So that those who tune in, many of our seniors watch the program or the meetings. I'd like for you to be prepared to talk a little bit about Hudson Campbell and silver sneakers as the weather starts to change and many of them won't be able to go out. They'll get to know that this is a place they can come.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a comment that I was actually at the Museum of Science and Industry, and I actually visited the Black Creativity exhibit there, and they actually have a picture of the Genesis Center where Wendell Jerome Campbell, actually, they were featuring architects, actually did the architectural drawings for the Genesis Center. So that presentation is at the Museum of Science and Industry, and I just wanted to highlight that because I thought that was pretty profound. We wasn't expecting to see that there when we were.
Nice.
Thank you.
Anything else? No. Thank you. Marquette Park.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my report is full of thanks for today. I first want to thank Pastor Muncie and the Family Christian Center. On this past Sunday, they baptized over 500 members of their church on the Lake Street side. And simultaneously, we had Area 5 booked, and it was the Greek picnic, and there were over 800 people on that side. So we were very, very booked at the beach this weekend, but everything went over without a hitch, and I'm just grateful and thankful that everybody was on one accord. We prayed together, we had fun together, and it was just a good day on Sunday. I also want to thank the Divine Nine. On Saturday, they had a beach cleanup that I didn't know anything about until I saw the photos, but I just want to tell them that I'm so appreciative of that, because the next day they had their picnic, so they decided to come on out and help us out in the park, and they did an awesome job. I want to say that this week we are booked. So we have an event Wednesday, which is the Wind Down Wednesday. We have an event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday going into the Labor Day weekend. And our books are filling up fast as well. So if you would like to book Marquette for next year, call 219-938-7362. That's my report.
Okay. Any questions from board members? Thank you. Park maintenance?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to go on record as saying if this is Tawana, if the beach is closed next week, I'm jealous of her, because if you would get my list from Vita for what we have to do the rest of the year, we're nowhere near at the end of our summer. When you think of summer ending, it doesn't end for the maintenance department at Parks. But we are actually playing catch up right now from the air show. Had to take a week off, and for those of you that don't know, we cut about 16, 17 parks a week, so when we lose a week, we have to catch up. You know, it takes quite a bit of time. We've been fortunate. Weather's been good. We only have 6 more parks to go to be caught up. Jackson, Rees, Towson. Towson will be done cut today. Junedale. There's 6 of them that we haven't done yet, but we'll be caught up. We've started bush hogging. We bush hog the baseball field at Gilroy for the soccer camp that I believe is October 5th, Saturday, October 5th. That has its first cut, so we're going to continue maintaining that so that the camp goes off without a hitch. East Glen Park, bush hog that down, as well as Ambridge, trying to get everything that was not maintained in the summertime, get that going for the fall. A lot of our projects that we can do when the grass goes dormant and things start growing as much, we can get a lot of work done that needs to be done going into next year. After this meeting today, I'm meeting with Officer McKinley, Corporal McKinley, about the installation of the cameras at the pavilions. We'll be going to each of the Jewel Park pavilions, and so he's going to assess where we need cameras in that. And I think the goal is to hook into the real time. Is that what that's called?
Correct.
Real time. And so that's going to happen starting probably in about a half an hour.
Okay. Any questions?
None here.
Thank you. Youth Services Bureau.
Good morning. Youth Services does not have an update today.
Okay. That takes us to our director's report.
Okay, I'm going to keep it short as well. I'm going to try real hard. Again, we'd like to thank our lifeguards. I got a text message from Carol Smith, and I don't know if she's talking today. Are you going to be talking today, Carol?
Yep.
Okay. I got a text message from Carol over the weekend indicating that our lifeguards, along with GFD and GPD, were very responsive in regards to a lady who was in distress in the water, and all is well at the end of the day. And we actually had probably, I want to say, 3 rescues this year. There's another one that we had not yet reported on because we're not finished with the investigation of it. But we are really, really excited that we have lifeguards who are working so very diligently. I get compliments on them all the time in regards to their engaging with our patrons while they're out there making sure that our patrons are safe as well as following the rules. Excuse me. We had a successful air show. I'd like to thank our Parks Department, our maintenance guys, as well as our aquatics folk who were out there. You know, our park maintenance, again, they get pulled off of the regular schedule, and so we get it from both ends because we got to be over here and we got to be over here. So I'm really hoping that we will be able to state the case that we need additional workers for next year. But they canopied trees, they cleaned the beach, they dragged the beach, they made sure that everybody had golf carts. We didn't get the golf carts until the week of. Don went into put on his mechanic's hat and fixed our golf carts up, and we had a very successful air show. And I even got to ride in an airplane.
Yeah.
I did. After you all got your passes and Parks got T-shirts and whatnot, Dan Vicari called me over and he said, "Hey, how do you like to take a plane ride?" Of course I would. So we did the whirly bird. We did all of that stuff, you know, upside down, G-force, all of it. I felt all of it. So had a barf bag and everything, but didn't have to use it. Also, we The Parks Department, Parks Maintenance also really did a good job on Gateway Park. So much so we've had 2 events over there. The Greater Gary American Jazz group had their event, as well as the Gary Historical Society over the weekend had their event over there. We've experienced nothing but complimentary words in regards to the work that they've done over there. And in regards to, earlier we were talking about the contract for Allstate to appraise this land so that we can come back into compliance with LWCF. The next steps are, after we get those numbers back, we then send that information downstate. And from our talks with Indianapolis, they indicated as soon as we get it down there to them, we will be able to immediately begin to reapply. Okay, so we're looking, so we're really, really excited about that. And finally, we are going to have soccer for Gary Youth. We're looking at October 5th, that Saturday, October 5th, is going to be a one-day camp. And we are doing this in collaboration with Indiana University Northwest and its soccer team. Coach Ben Kosowski, I still do that wrong. Kosowski, he said put the sauce in it, Kosowski. Okay, and again, they're going to be volunteering their time. Our team is out there behind Gilroy. There's a baseball field that used to be used by women's. We had actually had it.
By IU. IU had a baseball team.
IU had a baseball team, but prior to that, when I posted about us doing soccer, somebody mentioned that there was a women's baseball team in the early 20s and 30s, 1920s and 30s, that played out there. And some folks, grandparents and whatnot, played out there on a women's baseball team. Absolutely. So we'd like to, I forgot what the name of it was, and I know somebody's going to make sure that we know what the name of that team was. But there is a baseball field. Our guys have been out there. They've bush hogged it. And we're preparing for soccer for our Gary Youth. Okay? And you all will see a flyer coming out. We're developing that flyer at this time, and we'd like for you to call 886-7099 to have your kids signed up for that one-day soccer camp. And Mr. President, that is all I have.
All righty. Thank you. Yeah, I do want to take a moment before we move forward to commend Don and Park Maintenance. It's been a hard summer, but you guys have done great work. Thank you. And you deserve some level of With that, we'll have public comment.
Okay, we have Carol Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Finally back. The police and the fire and the lifeguards responded to that incident that Levita referred to in 60 seconds.
Oh, nice.
There were people on the beach. I went down and asked. What?
There you go, right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, within 60 seconds they responded. That was fabulous. And there were residents on the beach that helped pull the victim to shallower water, but that's as far as they could go. And everything went well. They had their equipment, they had an ambulance, they had a fire truck, they had police, they had everything there up at Lakeshore Drive, so they could get the victim to the street. That was great. That's the best we could ask for, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just wanted you to know that Friends of Marquette Park will be bringing to Levita and hopefully to you an offer to pay for the labor of the historic streetlights, the 4 historic streetlights along Grand, if the city pays for the materials and the posts and everything, which they have agreed to do through their, city streetlight initiative. So we're really thrilled. If the contract we have is approved, then we will help them out. Illumination of the public sculptures, I'll be bringing a plan to Lavita to illuminate both of those sculptures here and the tall ship with 2 lights, floodlights that will shine up. Greg Gondel from Great Lakes has given us an estimate, and he will tap into the streetlights, put the infrastructure underground and put in the lights. He's done a lot of work for the park. So I'll bring that to you. More memorial bench project. We have a lot of existing benches, about 20 different kinds, some steel and some concrete, and we have a plan. We hope you will consider to memorialize those benches, have individuals do that. We already have one person that is ready to pay. So we'll bring that to you and get brass plaques for those benches to make it worth their while. And then controlled burns. We just hope you're still advocates for controlled burns because it's the most efficient, effective, cost-effective, and everything else way to prevent wildfires and make our forests, our wooded areas thrive. So we will still continue to work toward that end. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next Sandy O'Brien.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so glad to hear about the Land and Water Conservation Fund getting settled finally after all these years. And fairly simply with a nice win-win of protecting land on the lakefront and getting to be able to apply for grants again. That's awesome. Thank you for all that work. And the other people that worked on it too in the city. That's good. I wanted to mention that I got a call last night from someone from Open Lands, which is a land conservation and restoration organization in Illinois. And they're interested in doing some work in Indiana. And the call was about asking me for site suggestions. So I suggested Brunswick Park because it's kind of shovel-ready in a way that could use restoration work. And I also mentioned the land north of there, if they wanted to help protect that on that subject too. The dune and swale, the unprotected 35 acres of dune and swale north of Brunswick Park would be awfully nice ecologically to get it all connected and managed as one big natural area. They're not making dune and swale anymore, Al. This is all we got that's left, and it's the last big piece. So anyway, that was a cheerful thing. It might happen. So that's a job that the city really has not been wanting to do, it costs money. So it would be nice if they would continue the restoration that was started with the mitigation project and the Fish and Wildlife grants at Brunswick's natural area, because it really is high quality. And I went out with the environmental science teacher at Lighthouse, the school that's closest to Brunswick Park. And he's interested in taking his students out to the park to aid in their ecological education. So it's worth something. And I also went out to 2 big gatherings of Brunswick Park current and former residents and passed out the flyer for the September 28th Family Fun Day that the Field Museum and local organizations in the Gary area are sponsoring at Brunswick Park. It's going to be from 11 to 1 on September 28th. It's a weekend, I think it's Saturday. And I was also wondering, Ms. Sparks-Wade, if you've been able to sign the burn permit for Unit 2 for Marquette Park.
We'll talk about that afterwards.
Because I did fill it all out, all 10 pages. It's ready to sign and go to Peter Jewelry.
Yeah, I just got it Friday.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good work.
Okay, next we have Ben Pinnick.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
Just as I identify, my name's Ben Pennick. Live at 631 Lincoln Street, Second District. So our organization, Gary Community Partnership, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with us. We adopted Reese Park probably about under the Freeman Wilson administration. That's when they were giving out grants to beautify the neighborhoods. So we've been taking care of that. We do have a, and kudos to the your maintenance department. They've been cutting the grass and getting things done. The one thing though is when the garbage cans or the barrels there, when they're outside of the court, then the court gets, just littered, And if we just got one request, if we can keep one can inside the limits of the basketball court, that way the trash is a little bit, controlled better. The other thing too, and I'm not sure if it's still Second District, but Borman Square, the basketball park, I noticed that the light pole, is that still leaning against the fence?
No, it's
there?
not.
Okay, so.
We got it removed.
Thank you for that. So just a shameless plug, Gary Community Partnership, we actually have our youth-based community organization, non-for-profit, and what we do, we take the kids out during the summer, Saturdays, and we cut abandoned properties. We cut, elderly properties that they can't maintain, and we've been doing that for the past 4 or 5 years now. We've partnered with the city. Like we first got our seed money from the Freeman Wilson administration when they had the Love Your Park or Love Your Neighborhood thing, and that's how we got started. So I just, anybody viewing this, visit us at GaryCommunityPartnership.com. And you can find out the lovely stuff we've been doing. So that's all I had.
Great, thank you.
If I may respond to that also, they do an excellent job at Reese Park.
Okay.
You guys, it's nice to have a partnership with you guys, they adopt a park like that because having the trash removed, it makes our life so much easier and that's a nice cooperation.
Yes, and we appreciate you too as well.
All right, next, Shaletta Miller.
Shalita Miller. Good morning to the board.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Shalita Miller. I'm from the 6th District. And I started cleaning Roosevelt Park 2019. And what I do is I cut back the bushes because sometimes children are playing in there and you can't really see. So today I'm coming to see about adopting the basketball courts that are adjacent to Roosevelt Pavilion.
That would be Roosevelt is a jewel park. And so we actually have plans to resurface. But if everything's been under construction over at Roosevelt.
Right.
So that would have to be a no at this time.
Yeah, none of this, because we have both resources and a plan for that entire area. And I think that you're going to be very pleased with once it's done. Now here's what we can do in terms of it wouldn't be an adoption of the park because it's one of our jewel parks, but we can absolutely work together in terms of usage and events relative to the basketball court. So as we move into the future, as you have visions and ideas on things you'd like to see happen at the basketball court, come back. We will see if we can't touch and agree, and actually, because we want it to be used. But yeah, we've got money appropriated, plans on the board, and I think you're going to be pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, I was happy to hear about the renovations that are expected for the park. So 2 questions. Is there a timeline? So like right now, I was made aware that it will be updated, which is great because I play ball as well on that court. But like right now, I haven't cut it yet. I trimmed it back at the beginning of the summer, but it's grown more. So now, is there a timeline for those renovations and whether or not I should pay money? Because I pay people to help me. So should I pay money to have it cut back so that way when children are playing there, the people who are driving can see if anything is going on and make sure that the children are safe? Because sometimes they're younger children.
Right. So I didn't have Mr. Pruitt to come up and give us an update. And it wasn't until,
I can also help on that. With
Yeah.
Tree removal, you don't want to do anything right now until the fall, because we will cut that back and then we will kill those trees. If you cut them down now and you don't treat them, it's gonna happen what happens, is because we cut those at the beginning of the year, they're back to 6 feet tall again and stuff like that. We have a chemical application that will apply to them after we cut them down, and then they won't go back anymore. And a lot of that will be alleviated once the resurfacing of that takes place.
So is there a timeline for it? And
Yes.
I'm asking, because I want to keep it simple, like, children usually play on that court through Indian summer. And now that things are warmer, it's through October, end of
Right.
October easily. So my thing is, the trees are tall currently, like right now.
Right.
So any timeline for that resurfacing?
These are getting ready to go back out for bid. As a matter of fact, Pruitt, would you please, Mr. Pruitt, come on up? And we just had this discussion yesterday, was it? Yeah.
We have a timeline for that, but we had a timeline for that, but we're gonna have to rebid the entire project, and we probably won't get it paved before next spring. The picnic tables are being rebuilt as we speak. They were not built to specifications, so the contractor's rebuilding picnic tables. I don't know if you saw the picnic tables or not, but they are not built to spec. So he's gonna rebuild them, and we're gonna add lighting to each one of those pedestals. So it will add additional light to the park. We completed the fencing on the north side of the pavilion. That powder-coated fencing has been installed. We are gonna need additional funding if we're gonna do any further fence improvement around the tennis courts. But that can come later. But right now, we're just trying to finish up what we've started this year. We want to get the AstroTurf in over where the swimming pool was, and that area will be completed.
So, next.
Yeah, we're looking in the spring. We want to be well along with many of these things by park opening day next May. And so that's kind of where we are, but I want to say this to you and to our community in general, just give us a little time. And our community is going to be quite pleased with what Roosevelt is about to become.
And I was happy to hear all of the news about the Jewel Park, so, because we've been waiting so long to have activities for younger people in communities in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 1st, 6th district. So I'm happy to hear all of these plans and the work that Mr. Pruitt will be doing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
One last update. Glenn Ryan's playground equipment was finally installed. So we've got that done, but the pour-in-place surfacing will be coming next.
Okay.
So, but the kids have been playing on the swing set as well as the playground installment over there. And then Brunswick will be next, but that won't be until the end of September because he's got another project out of
And
state.
Roosevelt baseball fields are ready for fall ball.
Yes, they are.
So
Yeah, so we're looking at, I was speaking with Noah Simmons, who is the contractor there, and he and Don are talking about the outfield in regards to doing the fertilization and whatnot, because we don't have the equipment to do the fertilization that needs to be done out there. Hopefully by next season, we will be able to, with some of this LWCF money that we're going to be applying for, get some of this type of equipment. But we're working on that outfield at this point.
Okay, we have one more person, William Miller.
Come right ahead.
Hello. I'm back to darken the doors after 10 years. I used to be on this board, as well as building commission once upon a time under Freeman Wilson.
Okay.
It is just amazing to hear how much has happened in 10 years. It's just amazing. I was you know, we were just like this, televised, and I used to beg people, please, if you're cutting your grass, just go across the street and cut a little grass in the parks. Come on, just a little bit, you know, just some cleanup and things like that. But I'm on the Facebook page here for the city, and it's just really a pleasure to see so much happening. And then volunteerism, it's like, you know, this country was founded on volunteerism.
Yeah.
And it's so good when people sign up and say, hey, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna help. So it's really nice to be back, and it's nice to see things happening, and then nice to see things done as well. So bless you for all you do.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So are you back? Because you
I
moved
live
to
in Palm Springs,
Arizona?
no, I'm in Palm Springs, California.
California, okay.
And I flew out this time. I was out in April, but actually doing a lot of garden work over in the Miller neighborhood. So if you know any kids that need to make a few bucks, they'll listen and follow orders and want to do some gardening, contact Carol or the garden club, because there's a big need out there, especially now because gardens are being put to bed. But I'm just here visiting now, sort of looking for maybe a small house in the neighborhood, so to have a place to come when it gets 200 degrees out there and it's only 95 degrees here. You know?
I remember you.
But it's so good to see everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that concludes our public comment. There may be someone who didn't get to sign, though, that wanted to address the board. Is anyone here for that? Okay. Closing comments from board members? There are none. Superintendent? Then I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.